Just to let our viewers know, if you've got
got
questions as we go along, you can use the feature in your webinar to ask questions to us. And at the end, we may actually get some time just to address those. So let's go, Mike.
Great. So SEO, what is it and how does it work? SEO has actually been around for a long time. Ever since there were search engines, there's been results, and they've been plucking those results from all sorts of different sources. So this is where the caveat is. If SEO is meant to optimize a website's content for the search engines, and the goal of SEO is to make that content friendly for users. But how do you do that? You have to focus on what the search engines are trying to do, and they're trying to satisfy the users. What are they looking for, and how are they looking for it? What are they typing in?
Right.
So if you're going to a dentist and you're looking for, someone to help you with your toothache, you might look for it, and you live in Florida or Orlando, Florida, you might look for a dentist in Orlando, Florida, and type that in. Now, that's pretty generic, so you'd probably get a lot of search terms. But Google and other search engines want to try and find those websites that are not in China or in Pennsylvania. They want to try and find the ones that are in Orlando, the dentists whose websites are in Orlando. And so they're going to bring those two together. So SEO is not just about search engines. It's about the user. And that's a big misconception that people get, and that's something that I want to try and bust before we get too far ahead. So I've got some homework for you guys already. I think one of the most important things that people don't realize is you might have a website, but Google doesn't know that you have a website, or they haven't indexed all the pages of your website. So this slide is going to be available to download, but in the meantime, check if your website's being indexed. There should be no spaces with this, but you should type in site:/www. whatever the name of your website is, .com. If you were Indigitous, it would be site:/www.indigitous.org. And Google, you type this into Google, and it will give you a list of all the pages they have indexed on your site. And first of all, you want to make sure your home page is at the top. If your home page is not at the top, something's not right. There's either not enough links, or not enough people are finding your home page and they're finding other pages. So we really want to make sure your home page is at the top. But I think, there's one, you find all these pages, you get indexed, that's great. But how do search engines work? If you're going to do SEO, and anyone and everyone can do SEO, I think there's a few things we need to understand. Search engines, they follow links. Now, Google won't say this, and neither will Bing, but we, as a SEO community, believe that links are probably the most powerful factor that influence what results you get in your search engine. That is changing, but the reason for that is links are usually associated with content. So that's how search engines find content. And links are how... So if you've got lots of links on your own website, it helps Google and Bing to navigate your website and basically index more pages that way, and therefore find the content. The other thing that search engines do is they look for unique, fresh content. It's a sort of content that consumers want. It's a sort of content that people are reading actively and regularly. You look at news websites or Mashable or anything like that, their content is fresh, it's happening, it's constant, it's been updated, and there's even a timestamp within the search engines showing you how fresh, like this is only an hour old, or this is 2 hours old, or this was just posted within the last 5 minutes. That is the sort of content people want to search for, and that's usually the content that is higher up in the search engine results. The other thing that main thing that search engines tend to do is they measure the popularity of websites. So think about elections that we're having. The president is elected by those who vote for him. So the person who has the most votes wins. Now, if you've got great quality links and you've got a lot of those links from, related sources to your website, your content's going to get a higher rating. It's going to show up in the results more often, and as a result, you're going to get more traffic organically. You're going to get more traffic from referral searches, which from the links themselves. And these are all the things that search engines usually try and measure. So links, the freshness of the content, and the popularity of your website are the basics of how a search engine works.
And I guess that accelerates itself too, because the more popular you become, the more you trend. And so the more it feeds back on itself.
You start trending and people are coming to your website. Those are your unique visitors. Then these visitors are spending time on your site. They're going to more pages. These are all little ranking factors that Google takes into account. Is the user being satisfied? When they clicked on that link or when they found that search result, what did they do from there? They went to this website and did what? Did they just leave? Did they go to another page? Did they click on other links? Did they fill out a contact form? Did they download a slideshow? Those are all taken into account.
That's great, Mike.
So if you have a website, and I'm assuming everyone that's listening here does or works for a business that does, there are a lot of guidelines that Google's put out there for what they believe to be very important. I've just broken them down into the 3 most important that they talk about. The first one being that your pages are easy to find and that they load quickly. No one should have to search and dig all over the place to try and find a piece of content on your site that they believe should be there. What happens? People leave. But Google, on the other hand, also wants a website that loads quickly. Now, if you're into, and this is where design and SEO can conflict, but they should really work together. A website should load quickly because people are impatient. And Google has found that websites that load quickly, people are more satisfied with that, and as a result, they tend to rank those websites higher. The other thing which is really important, and this is something that every one of us can do, is create good quality, relevant content that is updated on a regular basis. Good quality, spelling errors, grammatical errors, it's important. People spot it, and so can Google. Google's becoming much better at reading. And the quality of your content. Are you just regurgitating a piece of information that a million other websites have spoken about before? Or are you taking this content and making it unique to the audience that you're trying to communicate to? And that's why creating quality content takes time, and it's hard because you want to do a lot of content on a regular basis, but you also want it to be really, really good quality. And you can tell what good quality content is. Good quality content is the stuff that people share, the stuff people link to, it's the stuff people comment on, and people talk about it. And if people aren't doing that, you might need to reevaluate your content.
So, difficult question for you, Mike. Quantity or quality?
I would definitely go with quality.
Okay.
It's so important that you provide the best experience, and this is where user experience comes into SEO as well. The if you write something really, really good, the satisfaction value is going to be way higher than a 300-word article that scraped the surface but didn't quite answer the question. No one's going to share that. That's not answering or getting down to the root of the issue.
Okay.
And as mentioned before, the third thing that websites need to focus on in order to help search engines find them is links. And this has been abused by a lot of people, and unfortunately the SEO industry has been the biggest culprit in this, is that people are trying to get links. They know that links work, they know that links drive traffic, and that they help you rank better. So people are trying to get links from random sources. So if you do car rentals, and then you've got links coming from the doctor, from appliance stores, things like Best Buy or Target, that's not really relevant. Why would they link to you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't mesh properly. You need to get links from other people. So if you rent cars, you want to links from other people, like airports, links from people who do like U-Haul. They rent with and work with enterprise, so they've got you can rent different types of vehicles. Moving and storage places. Those are another great places to get links from if you're in the rental industry. So you want those sort of links to help boost your web presence. But what we've also been noticing is that social media is becoming so influential in those links, because people used to game the system. They would get links from random sources, and these people would just create these link farms. They'd create dozens of websites, same template, over and over, slightly different information or copy, and then just have links. And they would charge people hundreds or thousands of dollars for these links. But the problem was Google is becoming smarter. So those links got devalued, whereas links that were on pages where the person actually had a social media profile and was engaging with the social audience, those links were legitimized because they had human value. There were real people behind the website, real people interacting with the page, and that's what made those links really powerful.
All right, let's keep moving, Mike, because I've only got a few more slides.
So the one thing that I would like you guys to do, and I know you're not probably you can't click on this, but go to tools.pingdom.com/TBT, and you can see your site speed and the issues that might be slowing down your site. Maybe your images are too big, maybe your server is too slow, but it's going to give you a nice recap on what you should be doing in order to improve your website speed and performance.
Just clarification, was that FTP? What was it? You said something that was different than what was actually on the screen.
I think it was TPT. Let me go back here quickly.
Yeah.
I can't.
You've got FPT.
Okay, yeah. So FTP. Okay. So the next thing is SEO is actually divided into two parts: on-page and off-page. On-page is focusing on your actual website, the content, the site structure, the HTML, and these are the things that you should probably focus on first when you're trying to optimize your website. Your content, that includes copy, videos, pictures, infographic, and as I said, the quality trumps quantity. Create great content. Google reads like a human being. They read from left to right, top to bottom. So making sure your copy is, and your keywords and whatever describes the information is at the top of your page or higher up is going to help you. You want content that is engaging. People that find engaging content usually comment and share. The other thing that you want to look at is the architecture of your site. How was it laid out? How was it made? A lot of websites were made with design focus. A lot of websites were made with simplicity, but you still want your website to be made in a way that search engines can crawl the site. It should be able to load fast. The code should be clean, and it should be mobile friendly. If your website is not mobile friendly or responsive, that is a huge ranking factor that's going to hurt your website. If there's more and more people using their mobiles to look at websites, and I think it's overtaken desktop search already. So please, if you've got a website or you're going to be recreating a website, make sure it's mobile friendly.
In fact, Google just come out and say they're going to deliberately move away from ranking content that's not mobile accessible.
Yes, they actually came out. It's called Mobile Geddon, and it's an algorithm that was ranking websites that had that were mobile responsive over those that were not responsive. So it's really, so even though a website might have less links, might not have as many visitors, they may be ranking higher than you simply because they're mobile responsive.
I know a lot of people use WordPress, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in this webinar, but if you've got a theme in WordPress, it may not actually necessarily be a responsive theme. So you could actually change that out for a responsive theme, right, Mike?
Yeah, you can find, you got to be careful with that. I mean, don't download responsive plugins. They don't really work that well. I would, look for responsive themes and test it. Look at it on your cell phone, on your tablet, on your iPad. Make sure it works on different sizes. And with things like WordPress, most of those people that are creating those themes they know that they should be creating them responsive. If you're working with an agency or a freelancer, you got to put that in writing and make sure that they create it responsive.
All right, let's keep moving. I know you've got some great content we want to get to.
So this works with the HTML. This works with content, titles, headers, meta descriptions. These are all sort of things that help Google and other search engines like Bing read and understand the copy and the context of the website. If you can tell Google, this is the title of my blog post, this is the title of my homepage, and then you can give it a description and other things like that, it's going to help search engines basically put things in order and of importance. Say, well, there's this higher up in the site architecture or hierarchy, we should put that there. If you don't have a title, Google has to generate one for you, and they could pull that from anywhere. And so you're going to have the wrong title for the wrong page. If you don't have a meta description, Google will pull one probably from the home page, and it's probably not going to be accurate. And that leads to users not having a very good experience because that's what they're reading and that's what they're expecting when they click on the link in the search results. The other thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and ladies, sorry, is OffSite Optimization. You've got to build authority and trust. Is your website something that people would want to link to? Does the content and the links on your site, are they trustworthy, or would someone say, yeah, I want to link to these people, they look a bit spammy, or their content is a bit thin, there's no meat? Really look at that, and you want to create yourself as an authority. And this is your brand. Your website's an extension of your brand. Make sure your expertise as a person shines through your website. Links. I keep coming back to this, guys and girls. Links are like votes. The quality of the links, the variation of what the links are connected to, so the text, the number of links pointing back to your site all count. You want to actively work at obtaining links over time, and you want to make sure that if you are like for Indigitous, they want a digital ministry. You want to have links to the word digital ministry or digital media, or if you've got internships at your company, you might want to say digital marketing internships at XYZ. We want to try and create links that are relevant, that make sense, that are not all the same. You don't want links always going to your homepage. You don't want links all going to a brand name like Indigitous.org over and over and again, because you want to build depth. You want more links to more pages to create more relevancy, so search engines know what to rank you for.
Two quick questions, Mike.
Yep.
One is there's some consternation around whether Google reads meta tags, but it conflicting information whether Google is skipping over meta tags these days.
Okay. Great question. Google does not rank meta descriptions, but I believe up till this week they still rank meta titles. But then again, think of the user. A description still is important to help guiding the user. You can put call to actions. You can describe things. That is what you're going to pull the user in. A good description with a good title equals a higher click-through rate.
And that's my next question that's been asked by the audience here today, is that does WordPress allow people to easily access these fields, to edit these?
Yes, it does. If you're not, I am not tech savvy. I don't code. I don't do any of that. And at the end of this slide, I'm actually going to show you some resources to help you do that. To create meta titles, to create tags, to add alt text to images so that Google can understand what those images are. There are lots of things to help with that.
All right, let's keep moving, buddy. I know you got some good stuff.
Social shares, as I said, it's becoming much more important. You want people who are sharing your content, real people who have real followers who are engaging with their followers. That human interaction is something that is really important. Google is now indexing tweets. So if you have got a large Twitter following, that's going to help you with your search results. And it's something that I encourage other people who are not on Twitter to maybe focus on trying to do. We want to focus on the people who are sharing your content. Are they influential? Are they just people who are family members that are just clicking like, or are these people in your industry who are advocating your brand, your service, your product, what you're talking about? If you get somebody in your field giving you a positive endorsement online by sharing or retweeting, that's what Google and other search engines are picking up on now and taking much more notice of. All right. So what I've got here at the bottom of the link is at the bottom of the page is a link to Bruce Clay. He's one of the foremost SEO search marketing professionals out there. He's going to guide you on how to set up your webmaster tools, or as it's known now, Search Console, so that you can look at your on-page optimization and your off-site optimization and see if there's any errors there that you can maybe take the opportunity at fixing and making better of. It will tell you who's linking to you. It will tell you crawl errors that you need to fix. Maybe there's problems or issues that the bots can't reach, and it's really worth setting up.
So we've got about 19 minutes left to go.
All right. We go. So what does an SEO strategy look like? If you break it down to 3 parts, it's a technical, there's keywords, and then the mighty votes. We've covered page speed. We've talked about how the architecture of your site should be. I want to also talk a little bit about crawl errors. Before I talk about URL structure, you want to make sure that your website does not have crawl errors. You want to try and minimize those as much as possible. And Webmaster Tools, from the previous slide, will help you minimize that by indicating what errors they are. Maybe your server's not responding. Maybe the search engines can't reach a certain page. Maybe some of the pages are actually broken or do not exist anymore, but they're still indexed in Google for some reason, so you need to redirect them. That is something that we should all be maintaining. That is really the health of your website. With your URL structure, I always believe in trying to keep your URL structure short and concise. Long URLs are just, they can get out of hand, and then if you have they want you to have about 100 characters in a URL, but as your site grows and if your structure starts deepening, that could actually end up growing. So try and manage your URL structure to ensure that they're not any more than 100 characters long. Now, keywords. This is something that is more focused on the user. You want to understand the user intent. What are users? How do you know what users are typing in to find your product or service? So you need to do your keyword research. From that keyword research, you'll develop the content and make sure the keywords are in the content, describing the content, explaining content. Those keywords can be used for link building. So just like I said, don't keep using your brand name like Indigitous. You might want to use ministry and marketing and digital marketing, or digital marketing ministry as a keyword with a link to one of the pages on your site. You want to use those keywords in social media, because people are using social media as search engines now. They're searching Twitter for feeds. They're searching Facebook for influencers and for topics. The other thing you want to do is good PR. If you're doing a press release, or if you're doing anything like with newspapers or online prints, you want to use the keywords that people are familiar with, because that's the words they're using, and therefore you're speaking their language, and that's what's really important. Lastly, the other part of the strategy, I know we've gone over this, but it's really important, is getting those votes. You want to get links from quality resources. You want to get them from relevant resources, and they should make sense. If someone clicks on that link and they get taken to your web page, they shouldn't be surprised at what they find. That content should make sense. You also want to have co-citations. These could be links or not links. They could be like Indigitous being mentioned along with other ministries in a PR press release. If you get cited along with other influential resources, it increases your influential resource, your eligibility as an influencer. You also want to be active on forums. You need to show people that you have an active, engaging side. And this is one of the best ways to get your name out there. If people are not coming to your site and they're not talking on your site or leaving comments, go find them. Use keywords to search for those forums and go and ask questions, give answers. Leave your details there, like your website, so people can come back and see, oh, this guy does know what he's talking about. He does have he is a car mechanic. He has a car mechanic website. He has a car mechanic business, and he just told me why my piston's not working. Social media, there's social media links where people link to you on social media through the content that they find. That's huge. Because if someone who's influential shares one of your articles, their reach could be extensive. For instance, I do not have a huge Twitter followership. I have, I don't know, something like 200. But from this event, people could probably, I could, and through Indigitous's Twitter account, if they go and tweet, thanks Mike Shaw for your presentation, I'm going to get far more reach because they got way more Twitter followers than if I try to say, I'm doing a presentation, come check me out on my own Twitter account. The other thing that you want to try and do is focus on niche media. Quality over quantity. Don't be too general and go after and connect to websites that are very general. Look for those ones that are niche, that you can really connect to, that are very specific, because that's where you find experts.
And like Mike, if we link to that niche site, and then we send traffic there, they may turn around, come back and look at us and say, hey, we should be linked to that.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is what you want to do. You link to them, and then you say to one of these niche media sites, hey, love that article. We linked to it in our blog post. Would love for you to share it. All of a sudden, there's this relationship that's starting, and you want to try and connect with that. It's these people that are going to help endorse your brand online. All right. What is this one? Okay, your next piece of homework. And okay, here's an example. I'm doing it to you right now. I'm wanting you to go to towermarketing.net, and I want you to do an audit of your website. I created this little page where you can go look through the technical keywords votes section of the audit and check off and see what areas you need to work on, and then at least guides you on where you should go and where you're going and what maybe you've done well already.
Is there an easy way for you, Mike, to cut and paste that into the chat so that people can follow along? I know we'll give them this deck later, but I wonder if you can cut and paste that.
Hey, stealing my links here.
If we can't do it in 10 seconds, we'll go to them later.
Oh shoot! Sorry, no, it's
not going to leak.
Sorry, it's buggering. It's messing around.
Let's keep going.
All right. So, as I said, SEO is not something that should work by itself. It used to. It could be something that you could just say, all right, I'm just going to go build links or do link building, or I'm just going to go and optimize these websites with keywords, and that's great. But it has grown exponentially. We've talked about social signals, we've talked about fresh content, and we've talked about inbound links. You need these, but first of all, like I said earlier, you need a solid technical foundation. Your website needs to be healthy. Google doesn't want to send people from social media or from other pieces of content or from inbound links to your website when there's malware, when there's broken pages, or if there's just slow load times. You want to make sure that you focus on fixing those first and then start creating these communities. And Indigitous has done a great job at creating communities online for all different fields, and therefore people can be social, they can link to things, they can talk about fresh content that's new in the industry, and that is something that is showing how SEO is morphing and interrelated with other areas. So if you've got social media and you've got content marketing, make sure your SEO is a part of that. This talk here is by Moz. They're industry leaders when it comes to search marketing. This is going to show you the links to your website, the links to the certain pages of your, and the websites that are linking to you. So that's this way you can go and say, okay, I'm getting a link from ABC. Let me go and leave a comment there. You know, let me generate some conversation, because then it looks like that web page is getting engagement, and that link all of a sudden gets a little bit more value. Or I need to share that link on social media, hey, I was mentioned by abc.com, check it out. And it's just another way to spread that load over the web using other people as a resource. So just in the bottom right, it says here links are still the dominating factor, but social is gaining influence. Social links are really, really important, and I really don't want that to be left out of the link building equation as I'm talking. So why should you do SEO? There's three main reasons why we want to do SEO. That's conversions, that's information, and there's the technology behind it. Conversions, we want to see what people are doing on your site. What is the user experience? Are they spending time on your site? Yes or no? How do you know that? You can do conversions, you can do split tests, you can do A/B tests. You can have call to actions that funnel people through to where you want them to be, to the information. I mean, if you're trying to get a sale, you want to take the user from a very wide, hey, I'm on the website, down to a specific page that is helping them to understand what they want. Information, this is crucial. Give people the right information and make sure that it's relevant to your audience. There's nothing more frustrating when someone says, click here and you'll see this, and you click and then it's not that, it's something else. The right information that's fresh and engaging is going to lead to a satisfied audience. Satisfied audience stay on websites longer, share content, link, and those are all factors that Google takes into account and is able to measure. Technology, now we're talking more about the website, maybe WordPress, Joomla, servers, things like that. You want to make sure your website is accessible from all dimensions. Not everyone, when they come to your website, lands on the home page. So you got to understand, if they land on this page or that page or that page, they should still, within about 5 to 6 clicks, get to any other page within the website. So that's a lot of architecture and thought that has to go into that, because users have to be able to find what they want, and so do search engines. When search engines find what they want, they're able to index those pages and make sure they get found. And when they can do that, they can present that information to the user through the search results.
We have about 7 minutes left, Mike.
Yeah, all right, sorry, my throat. So I'm going to give you a little bit of I worked with a travel company called Travel Indochina. They had they do tours to Southeast Asia, and one of the tours that they were trying to lift up and get a bit more attention to was Burma. And it was this model that helped that project get on its way. Through content, through link building, and through social media outreach, we were able to produce something pretty cool. So at the top there, we've got ideas. What are you talking about? We want to share ideas, we want to get ideas, we want to involve those ideas with people. And that's why you need to find influencers. If in this case, Burma, we talked to people that were expats, people that were traveling to Burma, we talked to travel agents, we talked to people that had immigrated there, and we got ideas. And from that, we were able to get create a platform where we were able to push the content. So now we had these ideas. We knew who we were talking to. We knew the ideas and the information was solid. But now, how do we get this information out? Through blogs. But what blogs? You don't want to just go to any blog. You want to go to people that have been to Southeast Asia, who have an influential profile, who have a strong social media profile, and we pushed this content out to them, and we let them be aware that we were working with other influencers. Then it came to the production. We've created these relationships. Now we were going to produce the keywords, the content using keywords that people were searching for, and we were also going to create content using the influencers and the people that were on other platforms who were involved in the process. Then we were going to use promotion. The company that we had that traveled to China, their budget was rather small, so they couldn't just go and pump it out on social media on social media and promotions. They couldn't do PR press releases. It was just getting too expensive, and they couldn't do pay-per-click. So they used social outreach. They used the influencers and the people that used their platforms who already had a presence and who already had followers to push that content out and make it known to other people. And people linked back to us. People enjoyed the content. People saw what was available, and it was engaging. And that's something that we really wanted to try and create. So here's Burma. Welcome to Burma. Oh, shoot. Sorry, let me just go back. That was meant to be a link. Apologies. Let me very quickly. I hope you can all see this. Taking its time. There we go. Okay. As a result, we were able to create Welcome to Burma, which was these were all photographs taken by people that lived there, photographers, journalists, people that had real experiences. So this was back in 2011, small group journeys. We got the editors, now and then. We got real people who were actually there, had a history, and they were there during, the violent coups. And then later on we got, we made this interactive. We had fun, interactive things talking about the different areas in Burma where people should go and visit. We talked about the culture, the people, the history, the food, everything, all the temples. And as you can see, there's tons of copy, and there's great images that go along with that copy with real people's stories validating that. As a result, this was shared by so many people, got picked up by the Telegraph newspaper in the United Kingdom, who linked back to us, which gave us a huge, just a huge boost in performance. And that in itself was, we couldn't have got that with money that we would have done with a PR campaign. So it was super to see that happening.
It's interesting to see your strategy that you've been sharing with us today, Mike, and then actually you applying that strategy, and for us to see those lush images and the interactivity of that map, and people saying there's different things to do, and all of a sudden Burma is looking like a place that I could go. It's neat to see the fruit of that, and seeing other people picked up on that and linking to something big like the Telegraph in the UK. And next minute trending.
Yeah, and I mean that was the best thing, and the goal was to get people to go to Burma. People were, or Myanmar as known now, but people weren't going there. They were a little bit scared. People were, we'll go to Vietnam or Thailand, and that's where everyone was going. And so we had to try and give Burma a better image, a better viewpoint, and by creating something like that, the Travel China, as it was known then, they got more people going to Burma. So the fact that people was picking up on this and that they were getting people calling them for tours and organizing that was great. Also, that piece of media, it wasn't salesy. We had millions of people that weren't even related to the company coming in and sharing, which made it so authentic. So linking to it was much easier because people weren't linking to a sales pitch. There were real people sharing it with real experiences, so their followers latched onto it immediately.
All right, let's wrap this thing up and we'll go to some questions.
We're getting there. The future of SEO. Just to let you know, Google has algorithm. They make about anywhere between 2 and 6 changes to that algorithm every single day. So that means what you look at on your phone, Aaron, and what I look at on my phone are probably going to be different, even if we search the exact same thing, due to local influences, due to previous search history that we've typed in, all sorts of things. And Google is really, as I said, trying to cater to humans, and they're also trying to make sure that people aren't gaming the system. So SEO is going to change. Personally, I don't think SEO is going to exist as just SEO anymore. I see it being SEO content, SEO design, SEO development, SEO social media. Because it can't work as a single marketing entity like it did in the early 2000s and before. It needs to be integrated. I think user experience is going to be a primary focus of search engines at moving forward. They want people to have a great experience, and this is where SEO and designers can create something awesome. I mean, there's no point having a great-looking website and no one can find it, and vice versa. There's no point having a website that people can find and then they get there and it looks like a dog's breakfast, just ugly. So we really want to try and merge those together, and I believe social media is going to be one of those proponents that are going to keep growing and something that we need to focus on. But the last thing that I don't think will change is the fact that content is king. Content is how people read, it's how search engines read, and content, please don't get me wrong, it's not just copy, it's visual images, it's infographics, it's videos, it's animations, it's anything like that. So if you can carry on creating that on your own website, you're going to be doing yourselves a lot of favors.
How does Google reference images? I mean, they can't tell the difference between an ugly dog's
Actually,
breakfast
that is a very good question. So there's a picture of this guy with spiky hair called Aaron Thompson on Indigitous. But if you go into Google Images and you type in Aaron Thompson, you will probably find that same image on there. But Google can't read images. It knows it's a JPEG, it knows it's a PNG, but it needs something to give it clarification. So it looks at everything around the picture. So maybe there's a title saying Aaron Thompson, digital marketing coordinator, Indigitous, and then there's a picture. But the one thing that they do request is adding a thing called alt text or alt tags to the image, and you can put there and attach it to the image Aaron Thompson. Therefore, when the search engines come and crawl the site, they'll be able to then say, well, we're pretty sure this image has something to do with Aaron Thompson, so if someone types in Aaron Thompson, we'll just make sure this gets associated with that. We're also going to make sure it gets associated with Indigitous and marketing. So we'll cluster those three queries together, and we're pretty sure that's a good result that someone's looking for.
Let's wrap things up here, Mike. We've got a couple, 5 more minutes to go with some questions.
All right. So if you go to towermarketing.net/Indigitous, this slide is there for you to download. The links are on there. Your homework's on there. Everything you need to try and get you started. I highly suggest all of you look at Search Engine Land and Moz. Search Engine Land is a great resource of current industry events happening with search engines, social, all those sort of things. Moz is more of a community-based and software development firm. Now, you don't need to buy their software. They have a lot of stuff that's free that you can use, but they have great forums where you can go and ask questions about social, search, SEO, content, and you're getting industry experts coming back and helping you. So if you want a great free resource, Moz is a fantastic place to start. They also have tons of videos, how-tos, books, all free. It's a gold mine, definitely worth looking into.
Yeah.
Then for WordPress, Aaron, you were asking, there was a question early on about how hard is it to go into the back end of WordPress and add, meta titles, meta descriptions, alt text, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a plugin in WordPress called Yoast. If you want, you can just go to the link there, as mentioned. But if you just go into WordPress and you type in Yoast, you'll find the plugin there, install it, and every page, every post will have the option to add meta titles, meta descriptions, and you can customize it as you want. So you can make a custom message in there to try and improve your click-through rate. You can also then add alt text to your images. It also helps you with your writing. It will say to you, hey, your content's a bit thin, you need to add a few more links here, here, and here. This is your keyword that you used. We haven't found it enough times. We suggest you maybe use it a bit more or use some variations. Or it will even tell you you've written this document, but it's very difficult to read. We suggest maybe use shorter sentences and make it a bit more simple. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and it's incredibly helpful, and it guides you as you create content and web pages on your site.
God bless you. Thanks for your time, and thanks for being with us, all of our attendees. Looking forward to
Cheers, guys.
being with you again soon.
Will do. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.